Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're going to break down a very important chemistry reaction that, trust me, you'll see in your exams. What exactly happens when zinc metal meets sodium hydroxide? So, let's jump right in.
So, here's the main question for today. We all know that metals and acids react, right? But what about metals and bases? That's what we're going to find out, specifically with zinc and a strong base, sodium hydroxide. Okay, first things first. Before we see the magic, let's understand how you'd set this whole thing up in a lab. It's actually a really simple experiment, but it shows the reaction perfectly.
So, what do? We start with a test tube and drop in a few granules of zinc. Easy enough. Then, we pour in about 10 milliliters of sodium hydroxide solution. Now, here's a really key step. You need to gently warm the mixture. Why? Well, think of it like this. Some reactions are a bit lazy and need a little push to get going. The heat gives it that exact push.
All right, so the test tube is getting warm, and now for the really exciting part, let's watch what actually happens. This is where the chemistry comes alive.
As you start to heat it, you'll begin to see something happening. Tiny bubbles will start forming and fizzing up to the surface. And whenever you see bubbles, that's your #1 clue that a gas is being produced.
Okay, so we've got a gas for sure. But in chemistry, we can't just say a gas. We need to know which gas it is. Is it oxygen, carbon dioxide? How do we figure this out?
Well, luckily there's a very famous and simple test for this. You just take a burning matchstick and bring it right to the opening of the test tube where the gas is coming out. Now, you have to listen very, very carefully.
And what do you hear? You're going to hear a very distinct little pop. It's a classic sound in the chemistry lab, and that little pop tells you everything you need to know.
That pop sound, that is the signature, telltale sign of hydrogen gas. So boom, we've confirmed it. The gas coming out of our test tube is hydrogen, H₂. Remember this test, it's super important for your exams.
Great, so we've figured out what the gas is. But, that's only part of the story. What else is being made in this reaction? Let's decode the full chemical equation.
So, besides the hydrogen gas that bubbled away, the reaction also creates a new substance that stays behind, dissolved in the solution. This new thing is a salt, and it's called sodium zincate.
This table makes it crystal clear. On the left, we have our reactants, the things we started with, zinc and sodium hydroxide. And on the right, our products, the new things we made, sodium zincate and, of course, hydrogen gas.
And here it is, the complete balanced chemical equation you absolutely need to know. 2 parts sodium hydroxide react with 1 part zinc to give you 1 part sodium zincate and 1 part hydrogen gas. This equation is the heart of this entire topic.
So we've looked at this one specific reaction in detail. But what's the big picture? What's the main science rule we can take away from all this?
Let's just quickly recap everything we saw, okay? We saw bubbles, we figured out the gas was hydrogen using the pop test, and we know that we had to heat things up to get the reaction started. It all points to one general conclusion, and here is that conclusion, the golden rule you need to remember. When a certain type of metal reacts with a base, you will get a salt and you will get hydrogen gas. Simple as that. Metal plus base gives you salt plus hydrogen gas. Now, this is a point where many students get confused. You learn that metals plus acids give hydrogen, and you stop there. But what we just proved is that some metals, like zinc, can also react with strong bases to produce hydrogen gas. These special metals are called amphoteric, which just means they can react with both acids and bases. It's a key concept.
Okay, knowing the science is great, but how do you write the perfect answer to get full marks in your exams? Let's talk about that for a second.
Here are the common mistakes you need to avoid. First, people often forget to mention the heating part. Second, they'll just write a gas is formed, but not say that it's hydrogen. And third, they forget the name of the salt. So, for a perfect answer, always write that the mixture was warmed, clearly say that hydrogen gas was produced, and remember the name, sodium zincate. And I really can't say this enough. This exact reaction, zinc with sodium hydroxide, is a favorite for people who set exam papers. So make sure you know it inside and out. It's guaranteed to help you score well.
So we've gone deep into the reaction with zinc, and that leaves us with one final thought. We know zinc does this, but can you think of any other metals that might react with the base, like sodium hydroxide, in a similar way to produce hydrogen gas? Give it some thought. Thanks for joining me today.